Hey everyone, it's Deadponic. Just wanted to say Happy New Year and hope you guys are doing well and hope you guys have some decent resolutions. Don't mind the box over here and don't mind the panda bear. I got that for Christmas. Don't ask. So basically the idea for behind this video was basically I just wanted to kind of lay out where I am right now, and as of actually I got the announcement just this morning, but as of 2014 this channel, well, my channel is officially 10 years old, which I'm really excited about that. I'm really happy about that. But I'm gonna kind of lay out my thought process and where I'm gonna be going forward. New year, new channel, new me kind of thing. Because why not? So I'll just kind of go through each section of the list I made so that you guys can kind of follow along. I might put chapters in, I don't know yet, but anyway, so I'm going to be continuing doing playthroughs. So I'm going to be continuing with Final Fantasy X. However, I am going to be making a video at some point when I get to a certain section, because at a certain point in the game, the difficulty just spikes. And there's a certain boss fight that I want to basically, well, let's just say I am not exactly happy about that boss fight. It took me a long time to beat the very first time I played the game, and that was the PS2 version, keep in mind. But I'm not going to focus on that. I am going to be continuing Jedi Survivor. I actually am going to be starting up Spider-Man 2, but I don't have all the episodes recorded, so I can't, mass produce, factory produce them, if you will. I am going to be starting the Knights of the Old Republic, the first Knights of the Old Republic playthrough on the Switch, because I got a Switch and I've been playing the KOTOR, the first KOTOR, quite a bit, and I might actually use some of that gameplay in some of my versus videos, possibly. It really depends on what I'm going for in that sense. Speaking of, actually, well, I'm probably going to be doing a Metroid playthrough. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the first Metroid Prime remaster because I got that on Switch. I might even do Metroid Fusion because that's a really fun game. It's really good. I might even do the Spyro Reignited trilogy because a long time ago I did Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, the original, on emulator, and I really enjoyed it. That was one of my fondest memories from being a kid. I've only beaten the third game, and I have not beaten the second game because you have to get like 50 orbs, I believe it is, and then I did actually beat the first game. So there's nothing. It's just the second game that's a pain in the butt for me. Speaking of versus content, since we're talking about that a little bit, I am working on a project for Orange that is going to take up a lot of my time and energy, so you won't see much in the way of versus content. I do have a surprise coming that I'm going to be working on as well. That one's been a little bit in the making, but that one is actually, I'm not going to reveal actually what it is because I want to keep it a surprise. The two matchups that I've been wanting to do for a while have been Darth Vader versus Mace Windu. That one's a bit contentious because really it can go either way. Like, Mace is a excellent swordsman, and he has all the ingredients he needs to beat Vader. But if he treats Vader the same way he treated somebody like Dooku or maybe Ventress or even Palpatine, but the problem is that as I've talked with Orange in private, the Voped effect specifically, not the actual martial art, but the Voped force effect, doesn't really work on Vader as effectively because he's not going to get much out of it. So it could go either way, honestly. And then the other one is I'm probably going to be doing a redux of Chaos Indirect versus Darth Malak, which is going to be another collaboration with Orange, but we're going to be working on that, and it's going to be it's officially, I just wanted to like touch up the writing and work and touch up the editing as well, because touching up the editing, because that first versus video was poorly edited in my opinion. It came down to Well, we had a lot of file transfer issues going into it initially, so I said, okay, well, basically I took over all the major stuff like the visual editing and the audio editing, but nowadays I do the visual editing and Orange does the audio editing, which is fine. I have no issue with that. Um, and I'm considering doing more Star Wars, non-Star Wars related matchups. The one that I wanted to do, now most people probably would request this, but the Green Goblin versus the Joker. The reason I didn't want to do that one specifically is because it's a little too easy because you're comparing to psychotic blown operatives. And plus, Joker he's kind of proven that he can deal with opponents more skillful and more combatively viable than him. For example, he's tussled with Batman. He's manipulated and corrupted Superman, which led to Injustice. And he's even knocked out Wonder Woman with his puff flower thing that squirts out like knockout gas or like Joker gas or anything like that. And yeah, I didn't really want to do that one because it's kind of hard to do a matchup like that because really Joker's better at manipulating people and Goblin's better at taking on and manipulating and breaking heroes, and Joker is better at basically manipulating and breaking everybody. I mean, come on, he broke Jason Todd, so there's that, and he actually did kill a Robin for a time, and he also blew up Metropolis, which wow, when I first learned about that, I was like, oh wow, that that exceeds anything he's done towards Batman or even Gotham. And then as for the psychological profiles, I wanted to continue that, but I did do a mini psych breakdown of Lex Luthor, and I feel like there's more going on that I could do with him. And believe it or not, I was actually going to um, do a profile on Venom because the thing about Venom is it really depends on who he's bonded with. But because he bonded with Spider-Man first, he has this very like it's I don't want to call it a toxic relationship, but he's very like obsessed and like glued to the hip. And a lot of the good Spider-Man stories are based on like how do they write Venom? Because if he's bonded with Eddie Brock and Eddie Brock has very good reason to hate Spider-Man, especially in the comics, it really depends how you want to do his characterization. The first Venom movie, I thought was really good because there was no Spider-Man to attach to, and the symbiote is its own character, which is really interesting. And it even says like, "I'm a loner where I come from, and so are you here. So we have something in common." And I like that there's no. It's really strange because Eddie and the Venom symbiote they kind of uh enhance each other, but they also have like certain weaknesses that are exacerbated, if you will. Like for example, Eddie is much more well, at least like he has like during the course of the first movie, he has to rein in the symbiote because the symbiote wants to eat everything. It's like, yeah, no, we don't do that. Like, yeah, bad guys you can eat to your heart's content. Police officers are a big no. And probably one of the funniest bits was when he was confronted by the SWAT cops and they go mass copy, and then he's like, all right, have it your way, mass copy, and then the symbiote comes up. It's like that was really cool. I really like that, and I like that the symbiote is really funny sometimes. He's really good. Like, and that really put Tom Hardy back on the map because he's a really good actor, and the material that they used for him that he was given, he took advantage of it and he just poured his heart out, and that's what we need from modern day movies in my opinion. And yeah, and I also was thinking about doing a profile on Doc Ock, but which version of Doc Ock? Because there's like 20 different versions. Like, are we talking the 90s Doc Ock who has the German accent? Are we talking about Alfred Molina? Are we talking about Spectacular Spider-Man? Are we talking about the uh PS4 Spider-Man, which I thought was a really well done character. I don't know if there's much to go off on that one, but I theoretically could do it. That's a very, I don't know what I would diagnose him with, because it's strange because it really depends on the writing and how they choose to characterize him. Like, for example, in the Raimi trilogy, or at least in Spider-Man 2, the reason he's so like deluded and like he has like that he goes on that crime spree is because the artificial intelligence that was basically inhibited by the chip in the back of his neck, it got fried. So now the AI is technically kind of convincing him that really the only crime that he's doing would be not finishing what he started, which and it implies heavily that the AI is influencing quite a bit, which I think is okay. I think I could do something with that. I do love the 90s version of Spider-Man. Just the fact that he has the German accent, and he is such a like he has like a he's very eloquent, and he kind of reminds me of the comic version a little bit. In fact, there's like a comic where he actually marries Aunt May, which I was like, wow, okay. I was not expecting that. Uh, I don't know if I really wanted to do that, but it's on the bucket list. As and actually, since we're carrying on here, I was thinking about doing some lore videos, specifically within some universes that I actually really like. I wanted to do at least one lore video of something in Star Wars, particularly a character who is consistent about across both canon and legends. The only person I can think of that would actually be consistent across both mediums would be Princess Leia, because say what you will about the Kenobi series, yes, it has its flaws. Yes, it does have some continuity issues out the wazoo, but you can't deny that the actors are giving their all, especially the actress who's playing young Leia. She she really is the queen of sass. She outbeats Obi-Wan in terms of sass any day of the week. It is a lot of fun. And I'm really happy that they managed to capture Carrie's mannerisms in that sense. And I really enjoyed that. I like Ewan McGregor in that series too, because they kind of were teasing in Revenge of the Sith that they were going to, kind of expand on this. And Ewan said he was wanted to come back, and which is a good thing. And the funny thing about that is that knowing that Hayden is the one inside the suit makes every like the scene at the end of the final episode where like it shows him like with half helmet on, and then he has like the part that's teared off. Showing that is it's just wonderful. I mean, they've done this a couple times, I think, but it's pretty impressive. Um, my only real complaint regarding Vader is that there are times in the show, like specifically, I think in the third or fourth episode, I have no idea, but basically, if no, he either walks too fast or he's too agile. Like there's a bit in I think the fourth episode, I believe, where he's like strutting down the hall and he's walking a little too fast. I get that they're trying to say that he's really pissed off, but it's like I don't know. There's something about that doesn't feel right. I don't know what was going on at that time. And also during the final fight in the last episode, he moves a little too fast. Maybe that's just me and just looking from at a choreography standpoint. It might have been a little too fast because I'm trying to recapture the prequels choreography. But honestly, I don't know. Like it was just weird. So another thing on my list is I was gonna, as I've kind of alluded to before, I'm gonna do a redux of my worst Yu-Gi-Oh cards video. I'm having trouble finding cards that are actually bad and not just annoying. So that's gonna be kind of put on a little bit on the back burner until I can find some decent cards. Um, I was also going to do a top 10 of, believe it or not, my favorite Justice League cartoon and Justice League Unlimited episodes because they're technically one series. I'm surprised nobody's done any episodes on that series. Like everybody's done it on Batman the Animated Series. Actually, no, nobody's done anything on Teen Titans. They've done individual episodes, but they haven't done it on the actual series overall. Um, you got Spider-Man the Animated Series. I've seen people do Superman a little bit, but nobody's done Teen Titans or even Justice League. I mean, Shady Durags, he does do individual episodes for Teen Titans and Justice League, which is fine, but he doesn't really talk about his favorite episodes overall in a countdown list. So I wanted to do that, and I just wanted to focus on Justice League because that was a really nostalgic show for me. And funny enough, most of the series like those that I got into were via VCR. God, I feel so old. I'm 27 now, and I'm like, oh God, I feel so old. And I used to rent the Teen Titans and Justice League from Blockbuster, which I feel so old knowing that that still existed at one point. And yeah, that might be that. I wanted to do kind of a thesis style, just talking about the interpersonal relationships and just talking about the great stuff that is in the episodes that I really like. Eventually, though, since I don't know what Orange is doing regarding what he's going to be doing down the road, but eventually we are going to be finishing up the TCW review. So there's that to consider. We have to find time to record that. And also because when I was moving to my new place about a year ago, the files actually got corrupted. So that includes the Battlefront 2 reviews, the parts, and the TCW recordings, which it really sucks. So we haven't had really much time to actually find time to record because we've been busy with other projects. Orange has college, he's got a job, that kind of thing. So he's got personal stuff he's got. So I understand perfectly. And I've actually thrown out the idea of actually reviewing like a movie. Like we were planning to review Aliens, which that one's gonna is a lot of fun because I really like that movie. We were gonna review The Incredibles, maybe another Disney, like a classic Disney movie. I don't know yet. We did actually record the Battlefront 2 reviews, the two parts, because there's the Republic campaign, the Clone Wars campaign, and then the Imperial campaign. We kind of recorded those in separate parts. So, but unfortunately, the files got corrupted. So I there's nothing I could do about that. So we have to find time to re-record, which I wanted to do. I wanted to review a game like that for a while now, and I wanted to talk about one of what I think is one of the worst levels in that game by and far. Now, as for other things that I've been kind of pitching as ideas, I actually reached out to Lightning Bolt Forever, and he's actually jumped at the idea that of doing another interview style video, and maybe I can get him in like a guest star appearance somewhere. I don't know yet. That might be something down the line. And as for the Dragonis podcast, which I'll provide a link to in the description, basically Lady Maeve and I will be doing more lore videos. We'll be talking about fantasy movies, modules, and mostly D&D related stuff. That's a lot of fun. We're actually going to be starting up next week. Our recording day is usually a Thursday. Is it no, it's a Thursday because Wednesday is Magic Night usually for me. So usually the way it goes is we record Thursday, I edit for Friday, Saturday, and probably release it like Sunday or Monday. So you guys have it like at the beginning of the week. Um, I've actually been wanting to talk about like Magic the Gathering and how I've gotten into it. I've been into the game since high school, but it's changed so much that I don't even know where to start. But I've been playing a lot of Commander. I've been wanting to actually talk about League of Legends and Arcane. I have seen the first season. I'm working on the second season. I just don't have access to Netflix at the moment because my subscription ran out. That's a long story. I don't want to get into that kind of thing. I heard it's pretty good, so And I actually do kind of want to talk about my favorite characters, or at least champions overall. And overall, the goal for 2025 is to basically just get to at minimum 250 subs and maybe push to 300 if I'm lucky. Heh, 300 reference. But yeah, and I might go back and like do like a video talking about the videos that I'm most proud of over the course of 10 years, but it really depends how I'm feeling because I've been kind of under the weather. But anyway, guys, happy new year. Thank you so much for listening to me rant, and don't mind him. He's going to be featured at some point. I have no idea what kind of skits I'm going to do with him, but it'll be interesting. But stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.